Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at subcultural theories of crime and deviance, focusing on Cloward and Ohlin's opportunity subcultures. Using Merton's strain theory as a base, Cloward and Ohlin also examined the impact of blocked opportunities on criminality in young males. Like Cohen before them, Cloward and Ohlin suggested that young males joined subcultures in order to achieve status that they were not afforded through legitimate means. However, Cloward and Ohlin suggested there was a greater diversity of subcultural reactions to blocked opportunities, and suggested that subcultures formed based upon the opportunities for deviance within a particular geographical area. Depending upon the social characteristics of the local area and the opportunities for crime, young working class males would gravitate towards different forms of subculture. In their research, Cloward and Ohlin suggested that in different geographical areas there were different opportunities to commit crime. Their research focused on areas within existing criminal networks, areas of transition where people coming to the city would move into for cheaper housing before moving on to more secure accommodation elsewhere, and other areas with limited networks of criminal behaviour. From examining these areas, Cloward and Ohlin proposed there were three distinct subcultural responses based upon the opportunities for criminal and deviant behaviour that were present in these different locations. These three subcultures were criminal, conflict, and retreatist. Criminal subcultures, according to Cloward and Ohlin, were most likely to be found in areas where there had been a long-standing structure of criminal behaviour and where criminal networks had been established for many years. Dealing in mostly utilitarian forms of crime such as prostitution, protection rackets and drug dealing, young men were apprenticed into crime by being employed in low-level positions such as running errands, dropping off drugs or low-level enforcement. Those who displayed the right attitudes and skills were likely to progress through the organisation as positions became vacant or the network expanded. And for many young males this offered opportunities to achieve status and financial rewards that legitimate pathways could not. Cloward and Ohlin also examined areas of transition with no organised structure of criminal behaviour. Areas of transition where people moved in and out of and community bonds were not as strong tended to develop conflict subcultures. Due to the diverse mix of backgrounds, often young males would identify with certain gangs and clash with other gangs over turf, or in some instances based upon the ethnic groupings of those cultures. This was a form of release from the frustrations of not being able to achieve success through legitimate or illegitimate pathways, displacing their anger and frustration at society's unequal structure onto groups that were seen as others. In these subcultures, status was awarded for violent and criminal acts towards members of other gangs, much in the same way Cohen had suggested in his research. According to Cloward and Ohlin, the final type of subcultural response was retreatists. In a similar explanation to that of Merton, Cloward and Ohlin suggested that those who did not conform to society's norms and values, nor fit in with other forms of subculture, would retreat from forms of wider social integration and form their own subcultural response, one based upon substance abuse and petty crimes as a means to escape from their rejection by society. Whilst there was some evidence of networking with other groups, particularly those that dealt in drugs or purchasing stolen goods, there were very limited opportunities for status, and so members retreated from society. Cloward and Ohlin's research can be seen in contemporary examples of subcultural responses. In the UK over the past several decades there has been development of gang cultures, particularly in areas of low socioeconomic status. Industrial cities such as London, Liverpool, Manchester and Glasgow have long established networks of both conflict and criminal subcultures. In the US, there have been long-standing traditions of both criminal and conflict subcultures on the northeast coast and the southwestern states such as California. And Winlow examined the disorganised nature of criminal networks in the late 1990s in Sunderland, examining the role of doormen in the drug trade, and this research was in part influenced by the theories of Cloward and Ohlin. However, critics of Cloward and Ohlin, such as South, suggest that the lines between criminal and conflict subcultures are often blurred, particularly in the drugs and counterfeit good trades. Secondly, Cloward and Ohlin assume that people subscribe to the norms and values of society in the first place, and that they actively seek to react against the way society has treated them. This is not the case for all individuals, with many opting to conform to social norms and values and find release from their frustrations through other means. And a final criticism is suggested by Matza, who we'll look at in more detail in a separate video. His ideas of delinquency and drift suggest that criminality in young males is often temporary, a result of a phase in life where the norms and values of society have less meaning, and crime is an attempt to assert control. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on subcultural theories of crime and deviance, looking at Cloward and Ohlin. Thanks for watching.